Advisory services, one of the most cliched words used in accounting industry in every other blog, podcast, articles, and recommendation from most of the accounting coaches out there. This is Sean Parrick, CEO of Entigrity Offshore Staffing. In this quick video, we would provide you a little practical perspective on why, what, and how of advisory services for your firm. So please do watch till the end of it. So let's see why advisory services are needed. So basically, advisory services are like value-added services that goes beyond traditional tax or compliance services. So people often think that these are just like nice to have kind of services, but not necessary for your clients or their business. Well, the truth is, best performing accountants know that their client needs someone who help them understand everything about their numbers and story behind that. In fact, many of your clients or business owners have no idea about their numbers. And this is why they would like to trust a team or a partner to handle this. That's where advisory services become so valuable. I'd like to quote here an example of Shark Tank. If you are a viewer of Shark Tank, you would know that how many times an entrepreneur comes in the platform and you feel, or it comes out, that he has given up more equity than what was needed. He does not have now enough skin in the game or motivation to run the show. He is not able to scale the business because of the low margins or not proper price point. You see that they have raised too much amount of money or have too much debt on the balance sheet. Sometimes you even come across they are trying to do too many things, and sometimes some of the entrepreneurs have no clue of their numbers or their gross margins or their units sold. And that's where you see some of the sharks sitting there. I mean, Mark Cuban would come in and say, yeah, you need an accountant to manage your numbers and back office. And Kevin O'Leary would say that, you're a great business, but you need an adult supervision. So this is where advisory services through an accountant plays a very important role, not just in startups, but even in established businesses. And make no mistake that businesses are not ready to pay you uh, good fees for this advisory services. People do think that the people would value this. Well, at the end of the day, if you are able to build the value, and we will see that how to build that value in our next section of how. But if you're able to give the value that they are looking for, definitely they'll be more than happy to pay you big bucks. And that's what we call as value-based pricing. Now let's look at what are those advisory services that you can. Of course, it can differ, but let's look at what are the different kind of value-added services that you can provide to your clients. Budgeting and forecasting. Well, even though this might be traditional, many of these small and mid-sized businesses does not have this in place. They always crunch their numbers on the go. They do not plan anything. So putting this thing in place would really, really help them foresee and then forecast their numbers and plan their bottom line, plan their expenses accordingly, plan their cash flow. App advisory services. So basically, today, more than, I mean, any businesses uses more than 15 or 18 different kind of applications in their enterprise. So advising them on what app should be used, what app integrates with your accounting software, advising them on most efficient usage of technology could be, something that you can always have. Business efficiency services. I mean, services that improves cash flow or profits or revenue or rationalizes cost. Financial planning. I mean, this is one of the hot topics wherein you can integrate financial planning into your business, basically adding a layer of services, new services to your existing client. Business risk management, management reporting and analysis, team performance review and appraisal, long-term succession planning, long-term tax and wealth planning. So these are, range of services that you can provide, cash flow management and advisory. So these are a range of services that you can provide to your clients, and how we can execute, we will see in our next section. So now let us look at how you can provide advisory services. What is the requirement? What you need to do. First thing is you need to have deep understanding of their business and personal needs. You need to have a deep understanding of the industry, their business model, their clients, competition, their internal processes, the way they run their business. So this can only happen when you spend real good time inside their business, and not just, provide them financial at the end of a period. So you need to understand the environment in which they operate. Often happens when you integrate advisory services, when you start going deep into their businesses, you often end up onboarding many such clients. For example, today many of I've seen firms who have deep deep niche like vacation rentals, or firms that are serving e-commerce companies. I have actually, in the comment section, I have dropped some links of the firms, of how they are integrating value added services into their business, as well as, they have, build a niche. So the first point is to basically build a deep understanding about their business, their personal objectives, and the competition and the environment they operate. Second one is packaging and delivery of services. So you have often seen that firms have these packages, what do they call as basic packages, premium packages, and probably a third level of package, a total package. And in that, you have quantified each package in such a way that each of this package would have delivery in it, that this is what it would deliver. Two things happens because of this. First is the perceived value of the each of the packages, you know is identified, and clients see what they're going to get from each of these packages, and how it is going to deliver, what is the frequency of it. So it could be monthly, weekly, quarterly. So each of these services needs to be quantified, that we discussed prior, and the delivery of it could be weekly, monthly, and it could be quarterly or yearly too. And when you create those packages, it quantifies it. So the first thing is it creates a great perceived value between the packages as well as for those services. Second is, you actually are able to scale these advisory services to wide number of clients. The third is partnerships. So, partnering with tech product, SaaS products, or solution providers, like cost segregation service provider, or R&D tax credit provider, or merchant fees auditors, or cost saving specialist. You can partner with, many of these companies out there who want to work directly with small, mid-sized businesses and help them grow, help them become more efficient. And you can be, a gateway to provide those services to these businesses. And if you reach out to these companies, these tech companies, SaaS companies, or providers, they'll be more than happy to partner with you. They're always looking to partner with accounting firms who are, you know like an influencer in this situation, and it would be like an institutional sale for them. So they partner with you. Definitely there is some commercial arrangement there, but more than that is the value that you give to your client through this. And then it could be a white label services, or you can be just a gateway for them to fetch those services and integrate them into their businesses. So very, very important to build those right partnerships. Insurance, cost segregation, we discussed about it. And then right technology. So we talked about partnership with SaaS products and technology companies, but to have right internal technology is also very important. Automating the tasks which can be automated, and especially post pandemic, building a digital interface. So this technology would be at the backbone of providing advisory services, wherein, the FaceTime, for example, building a personal touch while conducting remote meetings. So you want to do remote meetings now, so that not just that you will limit your scope of services just in your locality. You can go beyond, and it will save a lot of times. Even if you do travel just next block, why let's just go on a Zoom. I mean, today, even for internal meetings we are using Zoom, even though people are in office. And lastly, offshore staffing. So you might have heard this from me or our blogs many a times, but I'll just give you a quick run through of why offshore staffing is one of the important elements of scaling up your advisory services. Offshore staffing, you know, staffing is number one challenge and a bottleneck on expansion growth for most of the accounting firms out there, whether it is salaries, retention, recruitment, everything. That's where offshore staffing helps you build the right team at low cost. So what you can do is the compliance, data entry, and other review level work can be pushed down towards your offshore team. So your onshore team of professional, which we call as your A team, can really be responsible and can really invest time in learning more about your clients, learning about their processes, and delivering better value to your clients. So once offshore staffing is integrated, what happens is basically you are able to serve your client better, more times for client, more face time for client. You may be able to actually add more services to your portfolio, and you may be able to even grow and add more client by expanding your capacity with offshore staffing. So offshore staffing is somewhere a bedrock when you want to expand advisory services in your business. So that was a little bit on advisory. I hope you liked the video. Please do comment and let us know that if you would like to, if you have any questions around this. As I said, we have put some samples in the comment section of some of the firms who have already integrated advisory services and how they have packaged the services, how they have priced the services. Please have a look at them. Thank you.